Good morning. Welcome to Margaret being Margaret. It is Sunday later morning, 9:23. I don't set the alarm on the weekends. Whoa. I still hear little feet, so I wake up. How is everyone? Can you believe we're going into the second week of November already? I forget that around here, November is pretty gray. It's been gray most of the week, a little bit of rain, and it's chilly. This house is not getting warm well. That mini split is in the wrong place. Luckily, I like it cold, but for squish in the morning, I throw on a space heater and then I make her put a sweater and her slippers on. It's been a good week. We have to talk about this. I used to be able to cook. Maybe not as well as I thought, but I used to be able to cook. I think I said last weekend I was going to go to Hannaford's and make a chicken rice soup. I got lazy man's way. The celery already diced, the onion already diced. I just didn't feel like doing it. I got a rotisserie chicken that I put the whole thing in after I took the chicken off. All the spices. So I did it right. I know I did it right. I cooked the celery, the onions, and then I threw in some carrots, a little bit of salt and pepper. I seared that, cooked it all good. And then I put a little bit of chicken broth, and I actually put it in the refrigerator overnight and I did thyme and something else, parsley. And I put that all in the refrigerator overnight, mainly because I lost interest in it at that point. That was Saturday night. Sunday, I got it out, put the broth in, I actually took what I had done out and put it in good morning. Good morning, good girl. How are you? Hi. Are you saying good morning? What's up? What's up? Nothing's up. Put it in the Ninja and blended it so that it would make it very, very thick and creamy, and I wouldn't have the chunks. That's just me. And I left a little bit of it. Put the broth in, put the whole chicken carcass in. That was all I needed, right? I had all the spices in, yeah. And let it just simmer for a couple of hours. At the end of it, I put the rest of the carrots in and the chicken pieces and the rice and cooked all that down. It should have been delicious. I know it should have been. I had not only cooked it all up, but then I let it set overnight. No taste. Now, I know my taste buds are lacking these days, which makes me so sad. But I had Nikki try it, and she said, yeah, it's missing a lot of something. And I went through all the ingredients with her, and I put the bay leaf in. I don't know what I did or didn't do. I ended up saying, all right, I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator overnight. The whole thing, let it cool down. And it was still hot in the pan, so I put the pot holder under it, put it in the refrigerator. Monday night, I took it out and heated it up. First of all, it had thickened really well. I put a little cream in it, too, to make it a creamy soup. Thickened up really well. Put it on. It's not warming up, and it doesn't smell good. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Well, finally, I think, why isn't it cooking? And why is this putrid smell? And I lifted it up to see if there was something on the pan. Pot on fire. When I got it out of the refrigerator, it stuck to the bottom. It burned. It was on fire. I took it off, burned my finger, put it in the sink to put the fire out. Turned on the overhead so that we wouldn't have fire alarms. And lost interest in the soup. Now, I did put a little in a bowl after that, and it tasted much, much better. But I don't know why. I didn't eat any of it. I threw it out yesterday. All week I tried to make myself eat it, and I just couldn't do it. I was so disgusted. I don't think I can make soup, and I don't know why. What am I missing? Somebody better tell me. Because I'm really trying way too hard. I ended up, if somebody says anything, I added some bouillon Oh, and I put some garlic. And then I added more bouillon just to get, and that's what Nikki said, I could taste the bouillon. That's it. I want chicken rice soup, and I want good chicken rice soup. So that was a bust. And once again, I almost burned the house down. I don't know what it is with me and fire. Never used to be me and fire. That was the worst of my week. My health, I feel wonderful. Caveat. I think I have a respiratory infection, which I set off the minute I say it. I feel really good. I'm taking Zyrtec because I think half of it is a nasal something. Now remember, I'm taking stuff for postnasal drip, and I have inhaler for my bronchiectasis. I don't think it's my bronchiectasis acting up. I don't think I'm having a flare. I think I have a respiratory infection. I drink, I move, I talk. I can't get a good breath. I checked my oxygen level. It's fine, 96, 97. But I do that. Right there, it sets it off. I've done my homework. I think it's a respiratory infection. Bernie, my sister, reached out to me yesterday to ask me if I wanted to go for a walk with her. And we did about 3 miles on the track. She did 3, I did less. I had to stop 2 or 3 times because I could not get a full breath in, and I felt like, almost like an asthma attack. And all my research says, yeah, respiratory infection. So Tuesday is Veterans Day. There's no school. Nikki will be home. I think my doctor's office is open. I'm going to reach out tomorrow. If they're open, I'm going to send her a note about what's going on. Hopefully they can just give me something, because I am not looking forward, and I'll probably say no, to testing everything again, because I know what it is. Dr. Margaret. I wouldn't mind all the testing. I don't have time for it. I have the little one. I'm not going to palm her off on somebody else so I can go sit and have tests that are going to say what we know. Anyway, I will see if I can go have my blood work done and talk to her and see if maybe they can give me something to wipe out this respiratory infection, because I really feel good. I just can't move. And I'm moving, but I'm coughing up a lung. Karen came over on Friday. I know she put up on our Facebook page that she was going, that she was coming over. She came over, we did have tea, and then we went out for lunch. Squish fell asleep on the 2-minute ride to the restaurant. So the first 10 minutes of her there was not pleasant. And then she became herself. I love listening to that little voice, Aunt Karen, Aunt Karen. And I'll bore you with her now. She wanted to learn, she's into plesiosauruses, the dinosaurs that swim. I can't remember the names of the rest of them, so we keep looking them up online. She's looking at plesiosaurs. She wants to see a plesiosaur skeleton. Okay, we do that. Then she said, can she see a human skeleton? This is her, not me. We look at human skeleton. We look at a cat skeleton, of course, and then we look at the hand skeleton and the foot skeleton. What does a plesiosaurus eat? Well, amongst the other things, they eat octopus and clams. And can I see a clam? Sure. So we show her a clam online, and I'm showing her how a human would cut them open and cook them, hopefully. And she said, do you eat clams? I said, no, I don't like them. I think Mommy does, and I know Aunt Karen does. Well, how about octopus? I said, well, that's called calamari, and I think Mommy does, and I think Aunt Karen does. We can ask Aunt Karen when she comes. This kid, I'm telling you, she's a walking encyclopedia. She's at the age where she loves learning. And Nikki's pediatrician said she's an early learner. Everybody will catch up to her. She's just soaking it all in early. But it's so interesting to hear her perspective on things. So Karen gets here. We're talking. She said, oh, Aunt Karen, do you eat clams? Yes, I do. Karen said, when we go to the restaurant today, I'll order fried clams. You want to try them? Yes. And I'm thinking, 2-year-old, she's not going to try them. We go to the restaurant, and she sees, Karen says, there's tartar sauce when it comes. So she dips a clam strip in tartar sauce and bites it and said, well, I don't like it. And they're chewy if you've had clam strips. So we think it's all over. Okay, that was wonderful that she tried. A minute later, she says, can I try a clam strip without that sauce? So she did, and she goes, I like this. She ate 2 clam strips. Then she asked Karen if she would order calamari. It's not on that restaurant. I'm telling you. I love watching her at that age just try things and do things. And I asked her what she wanted for Christmas. Nothing. There's nothing that she wants or needs. I said, well, if you don't need toys, do you need any clothes? Well, actually, Oma, a winter coat, because my winter coat hurts my neck. I thought, oh, okay. I'll ask Mommy about that. But when I put it on, I realized I don't put the zipper all the way up because it's way up here. Well, I did, and then the zipper part right here doesn't hurt her. And she went, oh, that's better. You don't have to waste your money. Nikki did buy one that's longer. I said, Nikki, I don't want to look at her plumbing crack all winter and think she's cold. So they did get new ones. So actually, I don't have anything to buy her for Christmas. I've been getting her outside every day. She's not a fan of the colder weather, nor am I, but we need to get out. So we're taking her for walks. I'm taking her for walks. I don't know where this royal we is coming in all of a sudden. And the way I get her out is to let her take her stuffies. If she takes a stuffed animal or two, we can do anything. For the first time in my adult years, when Bernie texted me for a walk yesterday, I had just gotten out of the shower, so I had wet hair. And I said, yeah, I'll be right there. Didn't dry my hair, went down for a walk and let it dry. So I looked, no makeup at all. And I said, oh, while I'm out this way, I'd love to get my grocery shopping done. And Bernie said, I would go. And I thought, I can't go looking like this. And I did. First time ever. Hair was bone straight, 6 hairs on my head. I put my glasses up on top, so at least I thought it didn't look too bad. Saw nobody I knew. Oh my gosh, thank you. But I got that done. Looked for a soup mix, thinking maybe I could get a soup mix. They didn't have anything. So I'm gonna go online today, see if I can find any soup mixes that would be like a starter kit for me that would be better. But truly, if you have a Margaret-proof chicken noodle soup recipe, please share. I want soup. All I got for the week is a couple salads. If I'm going to go to the doctor's on Tuesday morning, I have to fast. And I've been eating some chocolate. I've been having M&Ms every day, so that ended yesterday. Although, in all honesty, I bought a whole thing of Hostess cupcakes, so who am I kidding? I have laundry going, squishes, bed linens. That's about it. I know I have a 2-year-old, and we're in and out of here all day. And I know I have cats. So this should make sense to me, but it doesn't. My floors feel gritty all day. I vacuum and sweep every single day. The rug is a 2-second, but the floors, I sweep up really very, very slowly, and I do a good job. And it's not cat litter. The cat litter rugs things I have in the pantry contain 99% of it right there. But I'm amazed at how much how much dirt is in this house. I think more than I remember in the Dighton house. And I walked around barefoot more often in the Dighton house than I do here. And I still don't remember it being as crunchy underfoot. Other, I think, interesting thing. When I was going for a walk in the neighborhood the other day, I never use music. I want to be in my head and think deep thoughts. I did think deep thoughts, and I was thinking, I don't even know where it came from. If I had to use one word to describe myself, and be very, very honest and not be negative, because when I describe myself, I'm always going to go to the negative first. Or kind of like, what would somebody else say if they had to say one word about me? Somebody that knew me well. What would it be? And I struggled, kept my mind going for a whole mile or two, and finally came up with my one word. And it's still derogatory in my mind, but there's some good to it. My one word had to be proud. I'm a very proud woman. Now, there's a downfall to that, a big downfall, but there's also some good. And I asked Nikki what her one word was. And she picked for a young woman, she's not 40 yet, she picked a really good one for herself and said structured. And Nikki is very structured. And I said, Nikki, that's awesome that you can see that in yourself at this age. And yes, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but she, like me, will beat herself up a bit. So I asked my sisters, and I won't share who said what because I don't know if they'd be happy. One of them thought about it and said, calm. And I thought, oh, isn't that wonderful? To think that the one word about you would be calm. That's an age thing, I think. And the other one said, kind. How nice is that? So there's your exercise for the day, if you choose. And if you choose to share, I would love it. One word, not derogatory, that describes your soul. Not surface, your soul. And don't let it go to a bad place. Only has to stay good. I can come up with a million bad. The other thing, old friends have, mostly fallen by the wayside. And I get that. And it's sad, but it is what it is. And I'm okay with it. It just, that little hot tug of, oh, that's too bad that chapter of my life is closed. But I had reached out to some people that I know for many, many years that I love, and said, why don't you come out and see the house? And let's go out to dinner, my treat. And I never heard from them. I get it, but isn't it sad? It's just another door that closed. Now, when that door closes, I know another one opens, and one of my new friends, the grandmother of the twins that Squish played with, has become a really wonderful friend. I don't see her as much as either one of us probably would like. Life's busy. I spent a month sick, and I don't want to share it with anybody. And she just her and her husband went to Spain to see the kids. So hopefully I'll see her in the next week or two. So there are good things happening. I don't want to dwell on the sadder things, but life changes so much as we age. I do feel for the most part it changes for the better. I too am calmer. I too am kinder, I think. I just have a lot of nasty thoughts that stay inside. I'm hoping that those will dissipate too. Give me some hope, folks. I did my hair in a very small curling iron this morning because it's super curly. I could put the headband on. I've only worn the headband once or twice. But tomorrow it'll be settled into no curls and it will get me through another day or two. So that's working out well. I've tried to soften up my makeup more. I have a different lipstick. I don't even know if you can see it. It's softer. I don't love it as much, but I know I have to soften it up because I'm getting old. I can't believe that we're heading into Thanksgiving already. I'm starting to itch, I think I said that last week, into taking down the little bit of fall decorations, and I don't want to because I know if I do, then I'm going to be really itching to get the Christmas decorations up, and if I do that now, I'll take them down the day after Christmas. So I have to force myself to be patient for a week or two. The weather in the Northeast next week is supposed to be a little bit rainy, surprise, surprise, but still in the 50s, so it's going to be beautiful. Squish and I will get outside with our rain boots and our raincoats on and splash in puddles. And that's all I have planned for the week. We have our swim, which this week she didn't love for the first time. It's the first time back since we've both been healthier, and she was not. At one point she said, I think I'm finished. It's like, yeah, kind of me too, but no, we're not. So that's all we have on our plates this week. I want to take her to the bank. First of all, I need some cash. I don't know about you. Where do you get cash from? I mean that. My Social Security check goes in the bank. The little bit of YouTube funds goes right to the bank. I never see cash, so I have to go to the bank to get some, write a check for cash. The bank is 20 minutes away. That would mean taking her for a ride, and she does not want to do that. But twice this week I said, let's go to the bank. I want to show you the bank. I want to teach you about the bank. And she said, let's just go see my piggy bank. Yeah, that doesn't do it. And she said, maybe next week. So maybe this week I'll get her to the bank. I know if I put my foot down I could, but I do have to get some cash. I don't like having nothing in my wallet, and I truly have nothing in my wallet. Do you all go to the bank regularly and cash checks out? I don't know how else you get money, right? I don't have an ATM card on purpose, so I won't go to an ATM. And I had a lot of cash, a couple $100, which I think is a lot of cash, from when I sold the salon, and that's been 2 years. Yeah. And I just went through it. So I don't go through cash, but there's nothing in my wallet. I wanted to donate to the little store down the street. They're doing cash donations or food donations for people who are on SNAP that are running out of food. They've done wonderfully, but I didn't have anything. I had a $5 bill. I did put it in, and that was when I ran out of cash. So tell me, where do you get your cash? Unless you rob a bank. What you've been doing? What are you doing about Christmas decorations? What are you doing for Thanksgiving? I haven't been invited to Michael and Nikki's. I'm assuming I will be, because they're doing it here this year. And I'm assuming she'll be in here using my oven, so it would be kind of rude not to invite me over. I have to spend the rest of today working on a computer program. I've lost my touch to see if I can make the family calendars. I'm not sure I can make them this year, and I'm hearing groans if I don't. So I've got to do that today. I've been putting it off because it requires me to turn this on. I don't know if I still have it on switch. So you all have a wonderful week. Really let me know. Tell me, if you can, the word that you would choose to describe yourself. Keep it on the good side. Let me have your soup recipes, or tell me what I did wrong. And thank you so much for watching. And please like, subscribe, and share if you're so inclined. I'm done. Take care, everybody. Something wonderful is going to happen today. I don't know what it is, but look for it, because you know it's coming at you. Take care.